You mentioned earlier that you had got arrested falsely, and we're gonna definitely go on the record falsely.
Yes.
Falsely accused of a murder. What happened? How did they end up with you in that mix?
Name by association. I'm gonna say it like this to all my little homies out here with the OG reputation. And you think that's a real reputation? That's not a reputation you want to have when you're an OG. Because that name to them downtown, you the hit man, you the plot man, you tell them to do this and do this by association, by my name. My name. Picked up 3 days later, did 3 years in the county fighting a life sentence because of my name.
Right. So take us through that. Just take us through that. So how did they get you originally? How did they stop you?
No, I was actually in my house. And I walked outside one day, the day that happened. I seen a more car down the street. I seen another more car on the other end. So, you know, I burnt out. Went to the store. I was drinking heavy back then. Came back home. Came back in. A couple of my family members in the living room and say, bro, something to go down. I don't know what, but I feel like something to go down. Next thing I know,
storm.
About 5 minutes later, once I walk in the house, boom, 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 murder warrant for Felton Jenkins. I said, y'all open the door, man. I didn't resist. They had the guns out at me. I knew a couple of them. They took that mask down. Sorry, Felton, we got to take you in, man. I didn't wrestle with them, didn't fight with them. Put my hands out. They ain't put my hands behind my back. They did me like this. Come on, bro. Wow, man, I'm like, what's this about, man? They like the situation happened with GLT. They said you did it, bro. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. No way.
Right.
No way.
So at any point, did you ever feel like, man, they might cook me for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it hit me with organized crime on top of the murder case.
Right.
And then all the false statements that were wrote on me from family and loved ones till today, they don't even know I know. Wow.
So you got family who wrote false statements on you?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So, and this is just for the viewers and honestly people like me. I've never been through anything like this, but I'm interested to know. So when they take you away from your house and they take you downtown, what's the first thing that happens?
They put you in the room with some detectives.
Okay, and what we know is interrogation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they go to ask you some dumb questions. I give them all the right answers they need to know. You know what I'm saying? They try to come with the height thing, the short thing. They try to mess with your mind. So after a good 30 minutes, I lawyer up. Man, give me a lawyer. I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. I ain't got nothing to put on record. Give me a lawyer. Plain and simple. Sue me up. Put me in a single cell for about a couple of weeks. Then after a couple of weeks, put me in populations. Then after that, got me a court-appointed lawyer. And it took 3 years to beat that case.
Man, you in the county for 3 years. Tarrant County.
Years. Yes, sir.
Fighting this case. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So I'm assuming they don't give you a bond.
No, $500,000. The whole 3 years.
Wow. Right. Okay. Okay. So that, from what I know, that means you got to come up with what, 50 racks to get out. Right. Which is a lot of money for anybody to just have to come up with. So, I know are you calling home at this point? Are you, because I'm trying to picture it in today's world. Yeah. It'll be a whole bunch of free OG Felton on Facebook, whole bunch of talking about what happened, what didn't happen. Man, do you know what's going on outside when you in there? Yeah.
Let me go back. See, because all this led up. I had a sister named Brandy, God's sister. So she was dating this young man. The young man got killed. And so it was like 2 or 3 weeks prior to him getting killed with another club called Fernandez, across the street from Fernandez. So they come out, she with them, she you know, walk in the building, come back, I guess he slapped her or something. So me being me, we gonna box. So we boxed, I whooped him or whatever. So then 2 weeks after that, this when the situation happened, him end up getting killed. So the whole time that I was incarcerated, they were jumping her, going to her house, kicking in her door, making her life miserable wherever she went to. Threats on the streets. If I ever get out or whatever, they gonna do something to me. But like I said, the hood wasn't having that.
Yeah.
All these fake statements of family and loved ones, defending the person who did it. You know what I'm saying? Commit the crime, commit the killing. Stuff like that. Then everybody started falling off. You know what I'm saying? I know nobody can touch that $500 bond, so I didn't worry about it. It was just my mindset of the family turning against me.
Right.
My mindset of her getting jumped every time they see her. My mindset like, man, I know I'm coming home one day. But when I do come back home, truthfully, how many I got to take out?
Cause that's where your mind is.
Yeah, that's where my mind is.
Even in there, you like, oh, I'm on that when I get out.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now I'm false accused for something I didn't commit. Then, to be honest, and I never said this, but even the person did it, you wrote a statement against me.
It's a cold game.
And you think I didn't know? So now I'm dealing with that. And I'm keeping 100 the whole 3 years. Facing a life sentence.
Right.
Not for to see daylight. But I'm fighting in there for my life, for my freedom.
Right.
Yeah, it was deep.
Yeah. So in my mind, my first thought, because especially right now, it's a big topic in the culture in hip hop, is pretty much snitch and telling. You never felt like, man, I'm gonna just tell them who did it.
Our G code was too strong in Glen Guard. We had a G code out of this word. You better not break that violation.
Yeah.
Even to the point where you get caught with a sack in your hand, and we know you snitch. You gonna get it.
Yeah.
We didn't play that back in the 90s, man.
Right.
I don't care what. You for to be solid 100.
Right.
To complete. If you in this game before you even get put in the game, jump in the game, it was rules and regulations. It was contracts that you got to sign. Basically, you signing your soul over to the devil. So you break these contracts and these laws, we telling you in this contract what's going to happen to you. So when you cross that boundary, it's going to happen.
Like those codes, you know what I mean? And it seems like a myth today because you see it, man. A lot of people break that code, but y'all really, really stood on them codes.
We stood on them codes.
Right. So, you in there, you doing them 3 years, you feel like, man, I'm gonna have to do something to somebody when I get out. When do you finally see the light of day? Not necessarily when you get released, but when do you know, okay, I'm gonna beat this case or I'm gonna get out? You
know what I did? I'm gonna be honest with you. After that, I said about a good 6 months in, I say, God, I remember you when I was a little kid. Remember my auntie used to come and take me and my sister to church. I said I started going to church in and out when I was out in the world, but I didn't know you. I say, if you truly my God, you truly my Savior, I ain't seen my lawyer in 6 months. I say, bring my lawyer up here and I'll serve you. I'll lay down my life. I say, God, I don't know you. I just got an image of who you are because I've been the God in my hood. Oof. I say, you show me you my God. I'm in my cell praying this. My lawyer showed up that same night. We talked 30 minutes about my case. We stayed in that booth 2 hours. And the rest of the time we talked about God. From that day forward, bro, I dedicated my life to God. I said, God, help me. Remove the OG out of me. Help me with every area of my life, God, because I need a complete change. I'm the first one started having prayer circuits inside the jail. First one started having church inside the gym. Bringing Crips to Bloods to the one table we eat together. Even the KKK members gave their life to God and started fellowship with us. Seeing people going in and out of jail, coming out of jail while I'm still there. So I'm like, you know what, God? You got me on a different mission. I'm not even worried about that life sentence no more. I'm not worried about none of that because I know you're going to beat me. I started reading this word. Got in so deep. Memorized so many scriptures. It's still rooted in me. Right here you said, God, you're going to deliver me from my enemies. You're going to open up these prison doors. Make a long story short. We was getting ready for trial. So they had me down in the holding cell. The judge left his bench and asked me would I take 5 years. I said, I ain't taking nothing. I'm going home. You know you ain't got nothing on me. It's out to 3 years. He said, I'm going to hold you for another year. I said, no, you're not. You're not going to hold me for another year. I'm going to be gone. 3 days later, my lawyer came up and said, this case been dismissed.
Boom.
Og Felton never went back to the streets. And when I did hit the streets, I hit out running, grabbing youths, going back to my hood, praying for my young men, barbecuing and showing them. This OG no longer bang for the hood. I bang for God.
Man, that whole last 5 minutes gave me chills because my question was gonna be,
yeah.
You just answered my next question. You answered my next question. So Og Felton pretty much, or the previous version of Og Felton got left in Tarrant County.
Yes.
Around what year is this?
That's around 2008.
2008. Okay, so this is when I'm graduating high school. This is when Con and Quan is going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So my first question is then, with you being who you are, the name you have, how does everybody else receive the fact that you kind of turned it around?
They didn't receive it.
Okay.
Because they heard on the streets that was in jail preacher. Oh, he just jailhouse preacher. Nah, man, this is real. So it's a lot of negative things. Man, nah, bro gonna come home, be drinking. He gonna be doing what he was doing. He gonna come back out here gang banging. Man, we know our OG. I didn't have nothing to prove to him. I came back home, ran straight to church.
Right.
When I got licensed in 6 months. I had half the hood in the church. They thought I was playing. After I received my license, they got up and walked out. My right hand to the man above. And that day they knew, nah, bro ain't playing.
You know, I personally felt like, based on the stories that I've heard, we kept that part real PG.
Yeah.
But this part is my favorite part. Is, now we're going to talk about your transformation. At the time of you transforming, are you starting to, I'm sure you're losing friends, you're losing but what is it, how do you feel to see that the Glen Garden thing is still going on? Because now, 2008, that's when I graduate high school, I'm 18. And it's still super hard head, ag land, business going on. So how does that make you feel as in the midst of your transformation?
Well, truthfully, be honest, because when I came home, a lot of the homies tried to do me a get together. I'm like, I don't want it. And the one that I did go to, I was not feeling it. It was hard. Seeing a lot of young men never been put down. And asking them questions, who is y'all OG, who put y'all down? And they started sending out Alpha Wild's name, people I never heard of. And I had to tell them not your OGs. And to be honest with you, even though I did that transformation, one young man I had to jump out. And I had to ask God to forgive me later on. Because I asked him, I said, do you know Og Felton? And he said, yeah, man, I know Og Felton, man. Whoop the whoop, whoop the whoop. I said, for real, man? I said, you really know Og Felton? Yeah, that's my homie. I said, man, I'm Og Felton, man. He said, for real? And I asked him out right then and there.
Right.
I said, nah, you're not hard here, man. Don't never scream Glenn going out your mouth ever again in your life.
Right.
Ever. But, I carry that name now, even when people say it, because I still have some of my mentees say Og Felton. I carry Og Felton as a new birth. A new birth of a person that never had life. Never know what real life feels. So now when people call me Og Felton, man, I let them know that's original God's child.
Okay.